Alright, hey there YouTube, it's Phantasma Knight. I have Plaff with me today, and he is going to play Smol Ame. I'm just here talking. Anyway, he's played everything. I'm not quite sure why there's so many icons missing. You're only focusing on speedruns, aren't you?
I'll try. I don't think I'll actually get any done. Okay, that didn't work.
Alright. If y'all are wondering why the quality seems a little jank, it's because I'm streaming his stream on Discord. I'm hoping it's good enough, but I can already see the quality is not amazing on my screen, so... It's not amazing on my screen, plus I had to like widen it onto OBS so you don't see all the extra stuff on the sides. Maybe we need to nitro boost this server, then we can get high quality streams.
Oh, is my stream stopped?
I think so. It's like just like some of the background details. I don't know if this has to do with remember back in the past when the streams or Discord streams weren't working for me and I asked you to change some option?
Oh, I don't remember, but...
I don't know if that messed up something. Anyway, ladies and gents,
maybe.
we have a 15-second run here. Had to restart a couple times, but we're going to be expecting more of this quality.
Oh no, Russia level. It's
Yeah, it still kind of hit me when I saw the stage.
pain, that's all.
The stage is not a stage at all, it's a bit of a joke. But, yeah. After the recent controversy, it kind of hurts seeing that. Man, I'm gonna miss her. Fail. Turns out there were a lot of things I had to figure out to get this started. Like, for example, the little Discord reactive images thing. Maybe the other one would have been better. But there was no time to figure it out. Right. Maybe we should talk a little bit about the mechanics. So which one was the high jump and which one was the long jump again?
I think the one that gives you more horizontal distance is it's called like a Bubble bounce or something.
And it's the one
And that's when you hit the very, very edge of a bouncy platform.
Alright, so now I have something I could talk about like a commentator. So, oh, I realized that... I'm just looking at...
one.
Give me one. I just realized that I shifted the screen just a bit too much. We can't actually see your time in the lower left hand corner, or I won't see it, but it's gonna cut off, so I'll just shift this. Yeah, like I said, I'm streaming a stream. The stream session is kind of weird. Hopefully it's good enough. Okay, so, like we were talking about, an edge bounce is when you bounce off the edge. Makes sense, right? Turns out when you bounce off the very edge, though, it acts a little differently. We call it a bubble jump. So the regular edge bounce gives you more vertical height, while the bubble bounce sends you flinging, like so.
That's a very distinct sound for it.
It's too nerd for me.
Like that. Oh no.
As you said that, I just heard the Pekko laugh. That laugh is something else. And the fact that they lethalized it, or they weaponized it, there we go. What are those pink things at the beginning of the stage? I forgot. Is that just...
I think it just spawns the mustache things or something. I don't know what it's for.
Oh, I think you're right. And of course, the stopwatches are checkpoints.
Oh wow, that's actually a pretty decent run. Never mind, I just fucked it up. I literally just fucked it up by jumping.
When you run all the way up to the top? Still, 30 seconds, or just over 29 seconds is way faster than either of us did it on our first couple runs.
Oh, I actually don't know a good route for this one, so it's gonna be really scuffed. I've never ran this stage before.
If you've never run the stage, why are you still trying to go for the speedrun time?
I don't know, I'm just experimenting around, I guess.
Alright.
Oh my god.
So, chat, in case you're wondering why he doesn't just retry it, it's because when you do a proper speed run, the position starts a little differently. Because when you die and reset, all the things are still moving. Even your character just gets brought back to the beginning.
Alright, well, there's a Mega Scuffed. I want to see if this works. Oh, it does.
Wow, okay.
Okay, that doesn't work though.
I'm not entirely sure, but I felt like it would have worked fine if you hadn't like just actually nicked that pink book. Man. See, that's so ridiculous. So each stage has like 3 score markers. One of them is getting a certain amount of mustaches. They kind of look like bananas if I don't pay attention. Getting the 3 Bubba tokens, and not dying.
Alright. I guess I can't hit a single edge.
Because if you do, it just Fs everything up. Well.
No, my timing's just bad.
Fair enough. You know what? How ridiculously hard these stages are. It kind of felt weird starting up the game and playing the first stage again, like the regular version of The Office. I get it.
They're actually the exact same as the regular Office, but it's just backwards.
And somehow that makes it harder.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they changed the position of the mustaches. I'm not even paying attention, really.
I think it's the same.
Oh. Oh,
I guess that's okay.
They add these books here. Not bad, not bad. Oh, so I hear that they added safety nets, but I wonder how many deaths it takes for them to add like extra platforms and checkpoints.
Oh, this stage's actually a lot different now.
I see. Chat, this stage destroyed us. It's called Inescapable Madness, because Ina likes puns. Holy crud, man, what the heck? Surprisingly, I actually beat the stage before Plaff did, but I never figured out all these speedrun strats.
Like, I definitely need to experiment with that part. It changed a lot.
Kind of amazing. Ah, man, I'm kind of scared of how the YouTube quality is going to turn out. Like, it looks alright, but slightly pixelated, and like relative to the stream, I don't have this on like true full screen. Whoops. What in the world?
Okay, well, that's very scuffed, but...
I feel like if I had gone flying like that without seeing what was going on, that would have been a death sentence. Well.
These tacos.
No, taco means octopus.
Wow. Okay.
All the members have various fan names, and I haven't learned most of them. I just know that Inas are takodachis. Pun off of Tomodachi, which means friend. I don't know why I'm explaining this. If anyone's watching this, they're going to be such a massive weeb. They're gonna know all this stuff already. Speaking of which, well, actually, I don't know why I said speaking of which. There's nothing that connects that thought to this thought. Do you have a favorite player avatar in this one? I know it's called Smol Ame, but...
Probably just the default Ame.
I see. Regular adorable Ame with gremlin noises.
Yeah, actually the Ollie one's pretty cool. Like really high effort.
That one's ridiculous.
Yeah. I need to learn how to do this part.
Okay.
Okay, I think that works.
I
just need to time it better.
I feel like doing all these crazy speedrun strats are a lot harder when the camera doesn't work with you.
Oh yeah,
You're like bounced, and the camera's like, huh? Where'd you go?
You kind of just have to guess. Oops. Okay, well, that's kind of how it's gonna be, I think.
Alright. Jeez.
Actually, I have to get the checkpoint because I'm not comfortable with this part.
I don't blame you. What the heck is that?
Can't see anything, just have to guess. And hope it goes well.
I'm amazed that you could even do it that well over here. Oh, you have to jump on that one to trigger the second one, huh?
Yeah. Hmm.
You know, I don't know if many of the other stages are this fittingly thematic. Like all the Takadachis and the fact that there's scribbles being drawn because she's an artist.
I think the game developer tried to make it thematic.
Yeah, I just think this one's really fitting,
Yeah, this one's really good.
and it definitely has madness. Just ignoring that checkpoint, huh?
Yeah. If I die, I die, I guess.
I guess so. It just occurred to me, you're not using headphones, are you?
I am.
Oh, I don't know why I'm hearing like a fraction of a second of my own voice sometimes. Hey Reddits, welcome, welcome. So, despite how much my friend is messing up, here he's messing up trying to do speedruns, and he's messing up less than I would just trying to play this game normally. Trying to get past that without the camera working is ridiculous. Is this the hardest stage for speedruns?
Oh, I'm so dead.
Yep, yep.
Is what?
I was wondering if this is the hardest stage for speedruns.
Oh no, definitely not. I think Mogu Mogu is the hardest by far.
Really?
Or an optimal run anyway.
I see.
Oh, I'm not trying to do an optimal run. Even.
But you're trying to do like a semi-speed run. Doing an actual speed run for every stage? Oh, dang.
Yeah. I thought I was dead earlier.
And then you were.
Yeah. Okay.
Platform just won't appear.
I just fell through that platform.
Eek. Say, Rez, since we have someone here to check, how's the video quality? It's probably looking a little jank because I'm streaming his stream, and I had to expand his stream to actually look like a proper full screen. Because on my side, it shows stuff like our various icons, and yeah, I don't know how to completely full screen it. If I could just get rid of our little icons talking down there. I'm not talking about the one I have with Discord reactive images. Those are there so that people can tell who's talking at the time. Even though it doesn't light up that bright. Maybe it's because my icon's just dark as heck. The icons on Discord, they light up with this nice green outline, but you can't like shift it up onto what you're watching. So instead of giving you the actual full screen, it gives you like 70% of the screen. Something like that. So yeah, Streamception with like 70% of the screen. Okay, well, at least that works. And you haven't said anything about the stream quality itself, so I'm hoping it's good enough.
Wow.
The red gets more prominent. Oh, that works out. Plaff, say something.
Hello.
I think he's trying to check to see if your icon's lighting up. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is
yours
it?
is more noticeable because you have a bright icon. Mine was awkward. Once I realized that it was too dark, it was kind of hard to fix it because I was like just doing various things to my icon. Like I was using the spray paint function to try and like add a little more variety to it. But then it became very difficult to change the base color. Because I was like, dark colors are nice. And then I, opened up the Discord server. I'm like, man, you can barely see this thing. Except for that prominent red in the middle. This is what we're going to be expecting for the rest of the stream, huh?
Yeah, I think I should probably just give up on this stage. I don't know how to do that part.
Has it occurred to you to do it normally?
I get. I didn't know you could fall through there.
Huh. Learn something every day, I guess. Well,
Good try, I guess.
is bouncing on those 4 rotating tacos still as nightmarish as I remember?
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
I remember the first time I saw you just like shoot through it, I was just like, dang.
Oh, there's an extra taco now. Oh, okay, I see.
I,
I
well,
forgot you can't stand on them.
right, because they keep moving and F's you up. So I wonder what the safety nets look like in this stage. Supposedly you... Yeah, so if you look at the update log, I was trying to figure out if this game's actually finished, but there hasn't been an update since August. August 2021, which is when they added the Reflect and Hope stages.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it says that when you die enough times in a stage, they start adding safety nets, like extra checkpoints or extra
interesting.
platforms. And I remember seeing that extra checkpoint for it, and I'm like, was this always here?
Huh, I didn't know that.
I don't remember what stage I saw it on, though. The audio very rarely goes jank. Well,
I missed the bubble bounce. I got edge bounce, so I died.
ah. So instead of going flying off to the side, you just went up and then back down to the abyss.
Yeah,
Eek.
basically.
And that was not a bounce at all.
Mhm.
I know, right? Although Plaff here is doing stuff that I don't think most players are capable of. Quite a few of them probably figured it out. I mean, that's the whole point of the game. I didn't realize it was a feature at first. I thought it was a bug.
The bounce thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it actually was a bug initially, and then they're like, "This is kind of cool. Let's make it a feature."
The Super
Oh,
Smash Bros. Melee treatment, or rather the wave dash.
Yeah, basically.
I still never figured out how to do a wave dash. I think that you guys were trying to teach me
Oh.
at some point, and I just never did. That same taco!
I forgot I need to stop moving.
Turns out forward momentum sends you into the abyss. Turns out any momentum sends you into the abyss in the stage. I don't even know what happened. We didn't even see it. I wonder how much of a delay is there for me, because I know there's a delay for stream for at least a couple of seconds, but I wonder if I'm actually watching your Discord stream in real time or what. I kind of want to take a moment to try and resize my OBS capture, but I feel like if I did, I would F it up even more. You know, I think I'm gonna try it because you're just gonna be dying for a while anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, let's see. Shift this off screen a little bit. Make this a little smaller because I can't even access the borders without moving it off that far. Okay, I think this is actually more solid. Cool.
I give up on this stage.
Like, giving up altogether, or? Oh.
Oh, never mind. Oh, I actually could have done that.
edge bounce off one of those, or Bubba bounce off one of those?
One of the bounces. I was
So,
just
do
moving
something
randomly and hoping something works out.
I see. Well, I resized it slightly, and now I think it's about as close as I can get to the proper full screen. Like, you can see the timer in the lower left just fine. You can see the version number in the lower right just fine. You know, I thought this was version 2, but it looks like it's version 0.2.
The thing on the lower left is my FPS.
Oh. Man,
Yeah,
I'm dumb. I
game
didn't.
time.
Okay.
Or you don't see it until the end, anyway.
Yeah, I just saw numbers flickering. I didn't actually look close at it. So I've been talking about it this whole
Yeah.
time. Plaff, your voice apparently reminds Reddits of Artemis of the Blues. I have no idea.
Who?
I have no idea. Although there was a streamer that I was watching that I think was called Artemis Blue, but maybe their name's also a reference because that person doesn't talk at all. Yeah, I have to guess it's a guy using a female avatar playing Beat Saber. Speaking of which, I feel like Beat Saber is one of those rhythm games that you would get good at with two problems. One, it requires VR gear, and two, it requires moving around a lot.
That sounds pretty bad.
You made
I
it.
almost just jumped off for no reason.
Now, speaking of rhythm games, I'm wondering if to expand my repertoire, I should be playing something like Osu. Rhythm games have always been a bit of a nightmare for me, though.
Honestly, I'm not like a big fan of them. I just like to listen to the music. Oh, that's fun and that side feels bad.
I remember I was playing that Love Live game on mobile for a bit, but I mean, with that, you're only going to get a handful of Love Live songs. With Osu, you have every freaking fan map out there.
Yeah.
Stream's hiccuping a bit. No idea if it's your end or my end, and I'm not sure there's anything we can do about it anyway.
How do I do this part? Oh.
Been so long since you play this normally, you don't remember how to do it.
Yeah, I gave up. I'm just gonna do it normally.
Alright, moving on to the next stage. Hardly look you the ground pound that one, you just kind of stepped on it, just kind of sank. Ah, right, the other side of the moon.
Hey, Muna.
God dang, man. I love the song. Oh no, we're gonna restart the song a whole bunch of times too.
Alright, whatever.
Right,
Yeah,
because of
I'll do
the
it anyway.
grounding mechanics, we have some ridiculous speedrun stuff on here. I remember you showing us all this stuff. Heck, I remember the first time you showed me one of these speedruns, I was like, huh, that's pretty good. Actually, that's really freaking good. And then, wait, this was you? Yeah, before I realized about the whole, like, edge bouncing thing, and honestly, I'm still not too fond of it, but, like, these flying saucers, the way that they're just slightly slanted, it throws me off. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna bounce off the top. Nope, I'm going to go flying to the side.
Oh, I might just gonna die. Well, I don't know how to do this.
You don't know how to do it, or you don't know how to do it normally?
Well, I also never ran this stage before.
What? Didn't I see you speedrun this and just shoot through the map in like 10 seconds?
Don't think so.
Huh. Unfortunately, I have no evidence to level against you.
I tried before, but I didn't get through the entire map.
Oh boy. Oh boy!
Okay, well, I guess that kinda worked. But that was really scuffed.
Way better than the last one. Oh wow, it took a bit longer than I thought. Oh, I guess because you kept
Yeah,
the
I
deaths.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't reset. I just kept dying.
I see. All right, and
Doggo.
then anymore. Oh man, I still love how she had a game she liked, and someone was like, "Oh, you like the song? I'm gonna make a theme song similar to it just for you." Let's see. There was another version. Oh, right. It was the Meadow question mark version of the song, but you have to like restart the stage to possibly. There we go.
It's RNG.
Oh, same thing
Oh,
with the first version of the Ame's office stage, right? There was.
yeah. Yeah, there's two versions of music you could get.
I forgot. Can you bounce on these things? Oh, you can, but it's lethal. Oh, if you fail.
Yeah, the spikes kill you, but you could bounce off the dogs. That first jump is actually the hardest.
I was thinking about those like uh, demon bat things, but oh well.
It's like really hard to get a good edge bounce off the dogs because
It's
kind
hard
of
to
hard to see
see.
where the edge is.
The little headless monstrosities.
Yeah, it's like somewhere in the middle of the head, or yeah, something like that.
I feel like in theory you should be able to figure out where it is just by judging of the distance, but not being to actually visually confirm is.
Yeah, I should probably skip the first jump because like only get it like 10% of the time.
Or we can sit here and watch you do it 10 more times. Bounce, 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 bounce.
Oh my god, I hit
I-
one of the minion things.
It looked like you just phased right through the first one though. Eek. You survived this time, for now.
Yeah, that boy slow light missed every bubble bounce.
What? Oh, you slipped off and made the doggo go the other way, got it.
Yeah, doggo. I missed it again. Ideally, I edge bounce off the first dog, and then bubble bounce off the finger.
Ubies. Well, that worked well enough. You know, I found out at some point that
Oh no.
I
Oh, rip.
found out at some point that since Yubi means finger, Yubiwa means ring. But Kubi means collar, so Kubiwa is a collar. Collars and rings have very different connotations as far as I can tell.
One is Yab.
It's kind of fitting for the doggo though, eh? She doesn't actually have one though. And neither do these doggies, they're just kind of free-spirited.
That's right.
That's great. Yubi, yes. We have another Hololive fan in here. You know, recently I was watching a clip. Wait, I think I told you about this. I was watching Coefficient. Although no, I was telling you about him reacting to Hachima react to him react to her. Plaff has not met the weeb.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Calling anyone the weeb in the group of friends that I share with Plaff was kind of awkward because we're all kind of weebs. Oh, thank goodness. Basket Tricks actually knows all the jokes. Nothing beats a ground pound. Although, you know, most of the people in our group haven't really watched anime in a while, huh? Heck, does anyone still watch anime?
Probably not.
I watch a little bit. Morrison, I don't think I've ever seen you in my Twitch channel.
Oh my, can't jump on the doggle.
Oh, so funny thing about that basket trick. So my buddy here, his character's name is Hachamachama. So he would randomly get people coming up to him and say stuff like, "What was that person that you talked about recently? Hyrus Virus? They just came up to you and said, "I don't want to eat your cooking."
Oh, an FF?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's someone named Hyrus Virus.
And then there were all the random people's like, someone greeted you with the Hachama, and then after you replied, they said change servers, we're adopting you, right?
Yeah.
They still get a lot of those?
Not really, I don't log on that much now.
Is it because my brother moved on to Lost Ark, or?
Not really. Alright, I give up. That's good enough.
So what do you play these days then?
Back to Poe.
Oh, still destroying their economy?
Not really. I just... Oh, this is the hardest one, I think.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. I like the tune though.
Mogu Mogu. Yeah, Mogu Mogu is the best.
The pepperoni is at the very beginning of the stage, right?
Yeah.
This song is nice, even it is utterly weeb.
Oh.
So you're doing alright so far.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't messed up. Okay, never mind. Jinxed it.
It's because I'm making you talk.
I can't. Okay, there we go. I had to bounce off like 5 clouds to get the edge.
Yep.
Ooh,
And-
it's...
Well, that's a fail.
yeah.
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni? Pepperoni?
Pepperoni. Pepperoni. This is Hachama's voice, right?
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, this song is about eating. Just eating. Eating everything. Anywhere. We have pizzas, we have sandwiches, we have strips of bacon. I think part of the song says something about like how even in a horror setting or even in a war zone, we're still gonna be eating. No joke though, in the military they say chow is continuous, so it's not like we're gonna, especially like depending on the situation, we might not be able to just like sit down for dinner. It's just gotta keep going, and sometimes you just gotta reach in your pocket and pull out whatever nasty food you got from the last MRE. Playing Last Ark for right now, huh, Reddit? Part of me feels like I should try it out, part of me thinks I should run away. Was talking to a lady recently about playing it. She likes the game mechanics, although the fan service is a bit much for her. And me, I appreciate the fan service. I just usually wish for equality. You know, I feel like if the guys get eye candy, the girls should as well. And it just always makes me feel a little bad if I actually stop and think about the fan service for a moment. Fan service does draw me in though. It's just, I look at it as like, it looks like every generic, I want to say Korean MMO I see. And that kind of scares me. Also just my track record for MLs. Yes, I'm aware. It's just, it appeals a lot more to the straight guys. Right, I'm supposed to be commentating. So, in case anyone's wondering why he's purposely flying far to the side of the giant... I was about to say the giant Mogu Mogu. The giant Okayu is because it gets triggered if you go down there. If you drop down by that pizza, she starts chasing you, the music changes. That and he's speedrunning, so yeah, no need to wait for the giant thing to come after. The hip sway is that bad, huh? I kind of like this stuff, but pretending it's realistic, nah. Mugga mugga. Ah.
I don't know, Caillou.
Dang. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't go after it. I know everyone's playing Elden Ring, and I have access to it from my friend's Steam library. It was actually kind of fun, what little I played so far. And in addition to that, I know Jack really likes Cyberpunk, and I feel like I should give that a shot. Even if it's not a perfect game, I think it'll scratch an itch that I haven't been able to in quite some time.
Isn't Elden Ring like a Souls-like game?
From what I've seen of it, I looked at it, I was like, this is Dark Souls 4. I don't know what they're trying to pretend here. Maybe there's more to the story, but like even the way they present the opening cutscene, it's Dark Souls 4. Yeah, Reddits, I heard as much. I don't know if they fulfilled all the promises they talked about, and my image of the game is a little different from what I saw in those first few trailers. But still, I want to play it. You know, at this point, I think I'm willing to put the criticisms out of my mind. The issue is, well, time partly.
I give up Mogu Mogu so hard.
You actually straight up give up. All right.
Yeah, I actually can't do Mogu Mogu.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one.
What is this? Oh.
Hop on rocks. Oh boy. Here we go. So what I said about the stage is still going even as you die and reset. So this stage, the things will start appearing, but if you know where they are, then you could just go ahead of time. But if you restart, then if you die without properly restarting, everything will still be visible, the music will still be playing.
I don't remember how you're supposed to do that.
Then perhaps not.
I think that's how you do it.
Okay. It makes me nervous seeing that.
The cube just turned. Bad timing.
Okay. Well, missed.
Ready?
Oh, it's actually harder than I thought.
Yeah. You could always just skip this first step, right? Like,
Yeah,
does it actually mess up the rest of the run, or like how ingrained is your muscle memory?
I don't remember. I haven't played this game in like half a year, so.
That about fits, right? It's like March right now, so half a year ago would be like September. That about fits.
Ready?
Yeah.
Fox and socks.
I guess I'll just skip that.
Fox and socks and box. Socks on knocks and knocks and box. Box and socks on box and knocks. Chicks with
Yeah.
bricks come, chicks with blocks come. Chicks with bricks and then blocks and clocks.
You missed!
Do tricks with bricks and blocks, sir.
Oh, I remember
That is
seeing you go
very
through this.
unfortunate.
Just how the stage goes, huh?
Ready? Knocks and box. Fox and socks.
Well,
That is very unfortunate.
well.
I remember I used to be able to do this consistently, this part at least.
So remind me again, did Ame actually
Fox and socks.
sing this like this, or was it? Did she actually sing this like this? Was she just trying to read Dr. Seuss, or what?
I have no idea.
No, if she was just trying to read it, she wouldn't have messed up in that one part of the song, right?
Knocks and box. Fox Fox and socks. Knocks on fox and socks and box. Socks
She
on
probably was
knocks
trying to
and
rap the
knocks
song.
and
I mean, trying to rap the book.
on box and knocks. Chicks
Probably.
with bricks come, chicks with blocks come, chicks with bricks and
Ooh.
blocks and clocks come. Let's do tricks with bricks and blocks, sir. Let's do tricks with chicks and clocks, sir.
Oh, I should not do that.
I'll make a quick trick, brick stack.
Eek.
Then I'll make a quick trick, block stack. You can make a quick
I
trick,
see.
brick stack to make a
Oh, I'm
quick trick,
dead.
clock stack.
Right.
Here's a new trick, Mr.
You messed that up. They just start spinning out of control.
Yeah, I have to jump on the center.
Yep. Always go for the middle stash.
Now we come to ticks and talks, sir.
Oh, I'm dead.
Whoops.
Say this, Mr. Knox.
Well, thankfully you don't have to make it to the.
Sick, sick, bricks, tick, sick, sick, chicks, talk. Hey, sir, I don't like this trick, sir.
Nope.
My tongue
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, wrong way.
so back to the beginning. Oops.
I definitely shouldn't have missed that.
Now remember how you were talking about how it was hard to gauge where the edge was on the doggo, and here you are trying to jump on invisible platforms.
on knocks and knocks and box. Box and socks on box and knocks.
Uh oh. Gremlin noises!
Ready? Ready? Knocks and box. Box and socks.
So it just occurred to me,
Box on box,
are you gonna be doing the other version of the stage?
on knocks and knocks and box.
Yeah, that one's a better version, this one.
Alright then.
Chicks with blocks
Spooky.
come, chicks with bricks and blocks and clocks come. Let's do tricks with bricks and blocks, sir. Let's do tricks with chicks and clocks, sir. First I'll make a quick trick, brick stack, brick stack. Then I'll make a quick trick, block stack. You can make a quick
Okay,
trick, chick
okay.
stack,
Oh, I
just
fucked
like
up.
a trick, clock stack.
I can't make it.
Here's a new trick, Mr. Knox.
Ah!
Clocks and clocks and bricks and blocks.
You almost.
On box. Now we come to ticks and talks, sir.
But then the other blocks start running away from you.
Yeah.
Fox tick, clocks on fox talk, sick, sick, bricks tick.
Oh man, you're missing. You're missing all the middles.
Oh yeah, I wasn't really trying to go for a middle on that.
Ain't that a bit dangerous? Man, that crackling noise. I'm assuming that those are the pops on rocks, but I keep hearing it. I'm like, is there something wrong with the stream?
Fox and fox, fox and socks,
Oh, they added these blocks.
fox and socks and
I don't think these were here before.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Could've sworn I saw you. Maybe not. Dunk.
I'm glad that platform has mustaches on it.
So you could actually see it, kind of.
Yeah, so you can kind of see it.
Ready? Knocks and box, fox and socks, knocks on fox and socks and box, socks on knocks and knocks and box, socks and socks on box.
And then we fly.
Chicks with bricks come, chicks with blocks come, chicks with bricks and then blocks and clocks come. Let's do tricks with.
You know, I'm not quite sure, but I want to say the previous updates have come pretty close to each other. So the fact that we haven't seen an update in like 7 months,
can make a quick trick, chick stack,
and it still says the version is
clock stack.
version 0.2.
Here's a new trick,
But the next
Mr.
update's
Knox.
supposed to be the last one, right?
Chicks on
Probably
blocks,
other small fixes.
bricks and blocks, bricks and blocks on
Man, they've
blocks.
added a lot of people since then.
Now we come to ticks and talks. Try to say
EN
this.
second generation wasn't out at the time, right?
Fox tick, clocks on fox talk, six,
Holo Council?
bricks tick,
And
six,
Holo X
six,
definitely
six,
wasn't
six,
out.
Sir. I don't like this trick, sir. My tongue isn't quick to click, sir.
Holo Stars still only has 9 guys, though.
Mixed up with the chicks and talks, I can't do it, Mr. Hawk, sir. I'm so sorry, Mr. Knox.
Dude, I did the count. Unless my memory's bad, my memory's terrible. I think there's like 54 girls and like 9 guys active. Oh, shoot, the number went down by 1. God dang it.
Who's new
Yep.
socks, sir?
And I don't know if that actually included the Holo X. I forgot when I counted them all.
Crow comes. God damn
I
it.
was just wondering. Okay, we're done with this now. And
Oh no.
yeah, I don't remember when I counted it, but yeah, there's a lot of girls compared to how many guys there are. Plus, that's the girls from all 3 branches. You know, JP, ID, and EN. I forgot, wasn't there like some stage that added these like little spike balls after the
stage.
something? Um, yeah, I mean Reflect always had a lot of these things, right?
Yeah.
It's like the dev found out about these things. It was like, let's put them everywhere. Yeah, seriously. Hey, Morrison, I didn't know you were in the in the Hololive rabbit hole as well. I guess I should have expected. uh.
That is sad.
Just casually slipping off, huh?
Yeah. I can tell this one's not happening for sure. I refuse to do this stage normally, but doing the fast route is
I mean, at this point in the game, the
it's gonna
stages.
take hours.
Like this point in the game, these stages are becoming like kind of minor nightmares, aren't they?
This one's supposed to be one of the easier ones because it's short.
All of them spike balls.
Okay, I don't know why I did that.
You know that symbol at the very beginning of the stage. I believe it's a musical symbol that means it begins or like the song starts or something like that. But since me and no one else knew that, except for
Face.
probably the musicians, yeah. We thought she was making a funny face, and it kind of fit because was it? She was at least suspended from Twitter the day her account was made.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know why my throat's going all funny. Maybe I just need a sip of water. Sip, sip. I finally figured out some of my mic problems, so now I position it a little more properly and actually make sure to test the audio before streaming. But what this means is the mic is very close to my face, so if I like were to eat or something like that, it could mess it up.
Alright, that's not happening.
Flying through that, trying not to hit these like floating mace balls.
Yeah.
What are these things supposed to be anyway? Morning stars? Well, a morning star is a spiked mace. Unfortunately, I don't think channel points are something I could set up until I become a bigger streamer. Luckily, I try to listen to my chat, so if you tell me to hydrate, I will hydrate. That said, you tell me to play a game that makes me really suffer, I'll play it only for a little bit. There was a puzzle game that someone recommended I played called Steven's Sausage Roll, and the basic controls are pretty simple, but I just couldn't do it. Yeah, I'm gonna be clearing my throat a lot. That's not good.
I wonder if this jump is possible.
I mean, in a sense.
Yeah, seems like it.
You guys have got to be kidding me. You guys are just trolling me, right? You don't actually want me to play WoW, right? Please no. Even the lady I was talking to, I was cutting her hair while talking about stuff. She said she went back to WoW, and it's like she basically says that. I don't remember what she said exactly. My takeaway from it was WoW's trash now.
Feels bad.
And you used to be a WoW addict too.
Everyone used to be one. Oh, I'm so dead. How do you do that part?
Man! Reddit, I hope you're not serious about this. I do cater to my... Or what I mean now? Well, some people like WoW. I don't know if they've fixed any of the stuff that other people have been complaining about. Oh. Yeah, okay. It's just I know some people loved it. I couldn't really get into it, but again, I have a terrible track record with MMOs. part of the reason why I've been so apprehensive about joining in on the whole Lost Ark fad. The other reason is I just haven't had a good time with like Diablo-like games in a while. For some bizarre reason, I have no idea why.
Lost Ark is meta game.
Okay, well if Reddit admits that WoW is trash, then I don't have to play it, right? Right? You know, I wasn't paying attention. Were all these circles with the horns in the background before?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, you almost got to the end. Why would I have Trix join me? Why would I even play it? If I was gonna try to play an MMO, it would probably be Final Fantasy 14. Man, I should have put a list of exceptions on it. I figured I'd play any game, no matter how much of a genre I don't like, but... Man, paying for a monthly subscription to play a game that lots of people have left, even the diehard fans from back in the day have left, and a game that I never enjoyed in the first place. I mean, if I want to play $15 a month, I don't know, say $15 a month. If I want to pay that much to play alone, I would just buy a new single player game every month. Well, you know, Reddit, if I'm going to be making excuses, it's that one, I don't feel like it would be fun for me, and two, I'm not sure it would be fun for you watching me suffer. I mean, I have no idea what's fun for you, considering you actually show up to all my streams. I'm just like, wow. I guess it was about time, huh, Plaff?
Yeah, these are just not happening.
Alright.
Just-
Stream quality definitely hicked up there for a moment. Of course you enjoy watching me suffer, but
Wait, which platform am I supposed to bounce off of?
you know, Reds, if you want to enjoy watching me suffer, well, I mean, I could start Final Fantasy 14 and gripe about, like, every single side quest in there. Driving me absolutely bonkers how the NPCs act in that game. Somehow I think that Blade and Soul wasn't even that bad, even though literally every NPC quest was, oh, you're a traveling warrior, right? You do anything for chump change? And it really was chump change. You can buy anything in that game.
It sounds like every MMO.
I guess. I guess it was pretty early on too, so you go to the vendors and you'd be like, there's nothing to buy here, and I literally cannot afford stuff from vendors.
Oh, I see. I think you're supposed to bounce off the second platform.
I don't know why the stream hicks up once you start heading to those platforms. Is it because there's like all these moving stuff? You know, chat, I think maybe I should rescind any statements I made in the past about how I'll play whatever you recommend. Morrison, I seriously hope you aren't serious about that, because I might have a DDR pad around here. I don't know if it still works though. It was sitting behind my couch for years and years. The owner never came back and picked it up. And, well, now the owner is in a different continent, and I just don't know if it works anymore. Dude, I never even beat Dark Souls 1 with a, with a controller. And you want me to play it with a dance pad? Are you mad? I'm not that guy who freaking beat Sekiro blindfolded. I can't do this kind of stupid stuff. Oh yes, I must definitely a coward. I don't even know where I'd begin with that. I'm assuming you are talking about Dark Souls 1. And not Dark Souls 2, 3, or 4. That's just what I'm going to call Elden Ring. Dark Souls 4. Seriously, other than the open world mechanics and the horse, it's exactly the same as every Dark Souls game. Well, except for the flask. That's a Dark Souls 3 thing specifically. Begin with the start menu? Nah, you gotta begin with figure out how to set up the whole dance mat to the game thing. I don't know if I could just connect it to my computer, and then I have to make sure that the dance pad actually works, and then I have to clear some room here. Do you think there's enough room for a dance pad behind my computer? I have a TV. I mean, okay, no, I have two TVs to the side, but no, they're not in the way. If I'm playing in front of my computer, I have a table just full of crap here. What is this? Empty cereal box. This is part of the reason why I don't have a webcam, guys. I mean, I do have a webcam, but it seems to be pretty crap quality. I'd need to get a new one if I were to do any of that cam stuff, and I'd probably use a virtual avatar, which I have a really crappy one that I could use. Now I'm just like rambling about random stuff when you play this game, man.
In your room so you don't become like Laplace.
Eek. Eek. Morrison, at this point, I'm convinced you're just trolling me. Because I am not that wide. In the years that we haven't seen each other in person, I have not grown so wide that I could play a video game on 2 dance pads. And if I did, I would not be able to balance myself on a leg long enough to do that. I like how the stage turns darker. It looks real ominous.
Spooky girl.
Spooky girl.
Sag.
Red girl is evil. She doesn't like pizza. Is that actually something from the stream, or is that just a random comic I saw?
She doesn't like pizza.
There was like some random comic where like Gura was trying to tell, I forgot who it was, Ame maybe, that Red Gura is really evil. And she's like, how evil? I was like, what do you think about pizza? And she said something like, pizza's for losers. And then then she kicked Courtney. Because kicking the dog is like the epitome of evil.
Yeah.
No, Red Gura is fine and all, but I'm still amazed about like the Fubuki and her Kurokami personality. I believe that's a pun as well, because Kurokami could mean black hair. No idea what Shirokami normally means other than white hair. Like, I don't know what the characters mean. Been studying a little Japanese, but I mean, I don't know squat. I believe it was hiragana and katakana, and all I can do is kind of sound out some characters, but sometimes I get them wrong, sometimes I get them mixed up, because I haven't been practicing writing at them at all. And I haven't really spoken them out loud. Rip.
Sag.
Sag! This stage is perfectly mirrored, right? All the mustaches, all the maces, everything.
Yeah. Guess I'll just run through it normally.
And then fly through after you get through the halfway point?
Oh no, the halfway point's gonna be on mess on. Thought it was anyway.
It's kind of a cool stage design. Though I remember playing through this myself, and it felt like it got significantly harder in the second half.
Yeah, the reverse side is way harder.
Hard to fly through as well, or just about as the same amount of hard?
Are you serious?
Rip.
Yeah, it's harder to fly through as well.
Eek.
Alright.
Mace balls fly over your head. Yeah, it always glitches up when you with the stream. Well, at least for me, it always glitches up right there at the first jump. I'm assuming it glitches up for Twitch too, because again, I'm streaming your stream.
Probably.
But yeah, the frame rate just kind of glitches out right when you do that first jump.
Oh, does it happen with every bubble bounce?
No, it's just like I don't know what exactly it is, but like, you know those first couple platforms when you start like going over it, then something like the frame rate just messes up a little bit. Whoa.
I was definitely dead if I didn't stop there.
Yeah. With how rough the stage has been so far, I didn't expect you to make it that far in a single jump. Remind me again, was this part of the actual song, or was this,
This is a remix of the original.
Okay, so the original song was just the other side the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm hearing some definite effects that definitely weren't in the original song. I was just like, my memory's so bad, I was like, does it, like, speed up at some point? But no, of course not.
Yeah.
I realize I've been bouncing my leg. I wonder if my mic picks it up, if, like, picks up any kind of distortion in my voice if I bounce my leg too much. My dear mother's trying to get me to stop, well, she's been trying to get me to stop for years. And I think that was something that always annoyed your brother as well. We'd be like chilling in the movie theater watching something, and he would have to like tell me to stop passing my leg. I keep feeling like she says Yago during that one part of the song. Whoops.
Oh, I didn't think I would actually hit the edge.
Alright. Progress! Whoop. Favorite Hololive members. I've always been terrible at picking favorites. Absolutely terrible at it.
You can just
Well-
say Pacomara.
So, short story time. So, Plaff here, you see that he's got a Pekora icon. I still don't know if this Discord reflective images was a good idea. But anyway, so, I'm going to tell them the story of your Path Exile server.
My one.
With the Path Exile server, which,
Oh.
I mean, it wasn't really that long a story, huh? Correct me if I get anything wrong,
Not
though.
really, no.
So Plaff here plays Path Exile sometimes, and he had a friend who started up a Path Exile Discord server. At some point, it became one of the biggest servers, if not the biggest. And realizing that his name was always at the top of the member list, he decided he would change his name to Pekora Fan, and have a image of Pekora there. People would inevitably come and ask him who or what Pekora is, and he would start spreading his religion. Sound about right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
You picked up any new merch?
No. I ordered something like 10 months ago, but it's still not here, so sad.
Rip.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like put in a claim or something like that?
I think since it was a pre-order, it was still in production at the time.
Oh, okay. And here I thought someone just like, ooh, Pekora
Yeah.
merchandise, I stole it.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, Plaff is actually partly to blame for me falling to this rabbit hole in the first place as well. Like, I mean, he's been talking about Pekora apparently for freaking years before I became a fan. Like, I checked some of our old chat history, I was like, wait a minute. You were showing me some clips like way back when. But let's see, what really triggered it for me?
I don't remember how to do this.
That's hilarious. I just slid out a platform there, prevent you from just straight dying. You know, I think the gateway for me was Phasmophobia.
So,
Yeah, so before a little before that, I had watched what was that? The Trash Taste episode where Kelly showed up.
Podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched that, and I had never heard of Callie before. And I didn't quite piece together like what Hololive was. Like, I knew about Pekora, I had heard about Corne, I didn't realize they were all part of the same group. And the guys on Trash Taste, I don't really watch them either, so it was just kind of a coincidence. So yeah, there was that little podcast, I guess, and I just kind of kept it in the back of my mind. I heard that she did music, checked out the rap, and I'm not normally a fan of rap, but I really like Callie's music. So I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, but at that point I wasn't addicted yet. And then I started playing Phasmophobia. Late to the party, but, you know, whatever. When I mentioned it in our little, like, friend Discord server, Plaff said, yabe, or rather, you posted the icon, right? You have all those freaking emotes. Jeez. But, anyway, when I asked about it, he showed me the clip of Fuki actually saying yabe, or maybe I looked it up, I'm not sure. Basically, it was her using the spirit box, the ghost said attack, her eyes went wide, and she was basically like, I'm going home now. And then from there on, I don't even think that was, like, the final, like, it wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back exactly, but it's just kind of snowballed from there. You know, the interview with Callie, that little bit about Fubuki. Then I stumbled on a video of Coronade playing Doom and being a little too excited whenever she had anything to do with the chainsaw or the BFG. So it was somewhere around that time that I got hooked. I'm not sure there was an exact moment.
Chainsaw, wow.
She is so adorable with the chainsaw. And the BFG as well. Fubuki's great as well. He does a lot of great stuff. It's all thanks to the clips that I can enjoy it though. I try to watch them, like, I'm actually subscribed to literally all of them on YouTube. Hololive, Holostars, every single one of them. But I popped into a Japanese stream and I have no idea what's going on. Especially if it's a game I haven't played before. You dropped it in early, Morrison. Man, I had no idea about Hololive. It wasn't until... shoot, I don't remember when. I want to say, like, roughly, like, April or May of last year. So, I'm in EN first generation. Hollow Myth was already going strong. You know, Reddit's, there were a comment about the V-Shoujos. I kind of knew them, but... I don't know. I was something of a Nyanyers fan. I didn't really watch her, but I'd seen little stuff she had done way back in the day. And just listening to her it's amusing to me. But I never really jumped into the V-Shoujo thing. I don't know how Hololive specifically hooked me.
I think their personalities are just great.
Sure, but I kind of like it when Nyanyers is acting yabe, which is all the time.
Always yab.
Always. The first thing I had seen in Nyanyers was actually like a little parody video, or like a parody song that she had sang. It was cute, it was adorable, you paid attention to the lyrics, it was pretty yab.
Yab.
And then we have, let's see, some of my early experience with Hololive was all the stuff about, like, the Fubuki keeping viewers entertained for, like, what was that, 4 hours while some of her coworkers came late. At some point she says they are now 2 Shions late.
Yeah.
Shion did 2 hours. I think someone broke the record, though. I forgot who it was.
Kanata?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't she, like, 5 hours late or something?
Something like that, I don't know.
I watched that like clip where she was saying that she kind of like sort of woke up because of her roommate screaming and went back to sleep, or like fell asleep again. Or no, I think that was just like when she kind of woke up. And then since it was a clip, the clipper also included a clip of Kason eating something and just like screaming at how nasty it was. And everyone was like, "Yep, we found the exact moment that Kanata woke up." Eek? Eek?
Apparently I can't do this half at all.
Well, welcome back, Reddit. You know what I told you about apologizing? Man, when my biggest fan... quotation marks? Question mark? Apologizes every time he leaves. It's man. I mean, I don't know if he considers himself my biggest fan, but he definitely earned the title. No, stop! It's my one weakness. Apologies. What am I talking about? I have more weaknesses than a freaking vampire. Man, there's just so many things to like about all the girls in Hololive. Like I thought about I was thinking about vampires, and I thought about yours are Mel, and then my mind kind of jumped over to like Aki Rose and so on. One of Aki Rosenthal's songs was in a constructed language. Like people were trying to analyze it. I think they found similarities to Token's Elven language, but there are also some differences. It might not actually be an actual language, but you know, she made enough gibberish for a song. Welcome back, Basket Tricks.
Elf related.
No, she's supposed to be a half elf, so yeah, she had some constructed language. It was supposed to be an elven like folk song. I mean, Plaff has been dying non-stop. At some point it was like less talking on the stage, and now I'm just like rambling about VTubers and Hololivers, and earlier Redis was trying to get you and me to play WoW, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna rescind my promise about playing whatever chat tells me to. Especially because my other buddy, Morrison, was like, play Dark Souls on a dance pad. Play Dark Souls on 2 dance pads. I'm like, no. God, Final Fantasy 14 was a nightmare for me as well, but I could actually try that. I might be in a completely different server from you though, Basket.
Oh, there's a pretty checkpoint for dying too much.
Yep.
That wasn't there before.
Plaff, I can't remember. We're on Leviathan, right?
Yeah.
We, quotation marks.
Yeah.
Rip. Sorry, Basket. I mean, I could try to make a new character, but like, even going up to fighting like Titan has been a nightmare for me. I freaking hate the side quests / NPCs in this game. Actually, no, I hate the main quest as well. I guess I could.
Yeah, I do too.
That Basket's telling me to buy a boost. Gah.
The Endwalker?
I don't know. Speaking of which, I still have the what was it? The one of those other editions, complete edition question mark from Sorties. I'm hoping it still works. I could try to sell it to someone else, I guess.
Oh my god, it is so sad.
Are you giving up? Yep.
Yeah, I hate the stage.
We still have one left, right? Or
Oh,
two.
Wait, no, there's the Hachama stage and that one. Nice, this one's...
I like the song. I mean, I like all these songs, but this one just it feels nice. Also, the first half is kind of relaxing if you're just like playing it normally, and you've been suffering so much in the rest of this game because you can't do these freaking stages.
Okay, I see how to do that part.
I mean, with those stairs over there, that's just a series of platforms.
Yeah.
I guess you could just like bounce downwards to land on them.
Yeah, I just need to bounce on the platform to skip the first part. Of course I missed, but oh well.
Oh, Reddit, your message got slightly cut off on my restream, so I had to check my OBS. But so you're saying, speaking of VTubers, yes, Morrison, she is the strongest idol.
Hachama?
Yeah, I think she's referred to herself as that before, and I'm like, I'm not sure if this is the correct version of strength that she's talking about, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, I still landed on the platform, what the heck?
Those are your VTuber emotes. Didn't you have more? Didn't you throw like a Sarue the one at us? Like, I want to say like 2 of my streams ago? I'm just like looking over your emotes because I actually have the leeway to do so since I'm making someone else play on my stream for once. Whee! Do you have arachnophobia mode on?
I think so. Yeah. Can't see the spiders.
They are pretty creepy. They're just like pictures of tarantulas, but blown the heck up.
They're super spooky.
Now, yeah, I'm not familiar with those VTubers, but I did like mouse over all the icons just to see what they were all called. Why is my voice getting real distorted, or? Man, you make that look easy. I remember that section was an absolute freaking nightmare. Don't know what's with my voice today. Yeah. Whoa, that face.
I think that's good. Oh, it was. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, I have no idea why I just said Reddits. I was just talking. Talking. Talk. Whoa. Well, I guess this one has the platforms visible from the beginning.
Yeah.
So you can see how badly you're screwing up.
Yeah, that first jump was too hard. Just gonna skip it.
Yeah, there's on these darker screens, there's like a little like messed up detailing in the background. I'm pretty sure this might be the result. I'm pretty sure this might be. I'm pretty sure this is the result of back then when my streams weren't working and I asked you to change some settings, except I don't remember which setting I asked you to change. And I never quite figured out the problem. Well, I mean, I could sum up the problem. I was running Windows 7? Question mark? Might have been 8. I think it was 7. Either way, it was too old. Yeah, this distortion effect's really bad. I mean, it's still watchable, but you know, it's like watching low quality TV. Or no, it's like watching with like smudges on the screen. Only the smudges are in the screen, so you can't do anything about them. So we're totally gonna do this again once the game actually finishes, right?
Where am I? Oh, all the way back here.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Now back to the beginning.
Yeah. You know when the JP girls had like an offline meeting,
Uh-huh.
they had to keep Pekora from laughing.
Because it would give away the secret, or?
Yeah, because people will probably recognize that laugh.
I see. But I mean, like, she showed up part of the way through the stream, right? It's not like they're trying to keep it quiet the whole time.
Oh no, I don't think it was streamed, it was just an offline meeting or something. Like,
Oh,
it was, like, a bit or
oh,
something.
okay. That's what you meant. Sorry, I was thinking
Yeah.
about how recently some of the EN girls met up in real life, and then they decided to stream it.
Oh.
And when it started, it was Ame singing at first, and then they had like a little skit where they pretend room service showed up, except it was Ina. And then after Ina sang a song with her, then I think Mume, Fauna, and Crony, they popped in at that point. And it turns out that they're all socially awkward introverts, and if the waiter forgot something while they're at the restaurant, like forgot to give them hot sauce, they would make Crony do it, and then they would all be like quietly like applauding her in the back. That's what they made it sound like. Low confidence goes a long way. A low false confidence goes a long way as well.
Wow, feels bad.
This block spins so fast in this mode. I'm trying to remember whose stream I was listening to at work. I think it was Ina's, and she was talking about how like the Crony was just like constantly hilarious to her. Oh, well, the platform wasn't there when you needed it.
Yeah.
A good example of things going wrong because of timing. And you're back here again. This is the final stage, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
There's one more button to click on, but it's just a teaser. Hey Medoro, welcome! We are on the last stage, so we'll probably call it after this. We haven't even reached the 1.5 hour mark, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing after this.
I didn't even have the stages, I just gave up.
But you were trying to like speedrun them too. We had a
Yeah,
good couple
that's-
ones at the beginning.
Like, it's not possible to do in consistently, I think.
Uh-huh.
You get like one good run every couple hours. But it's too boring to sit here and reset for hours.
This is your secret to being good at games. You sit there for hours. Just practicing. You're like the Goblin Slayer of the video games. I don't know if that's a good comparison, but that character is possibly actually autistic. As far as I can tell, autistic people are really good at doing certain things. You just gotta find what they specialize in. Oh yeah, I remember the first time we watched Medoro play through this game. A lot of these stages weren't out at the time. But having more experience with platformers and having played Celeste and other such games, like, I mean, he failed a few times, but he made getting through normally look a lot easier than it felt. That was also before Plaff started trying to speedrun everything. Different types of autism, huh? Well noted. Oh. Oh, it might have been. Yeah, in our little group, it was mostly just, I mean, it was mostly just Plaff who was the Hololive fan, then I kind of jumped in, and then naturally we start talking about Smol Ame. Then somehow we dragged you into Medoro. I'm trying to figure it out. Is there a good way to end this episode? I'm probably am gonna upload this to YouTube, and it'll probably just be like a whole lot of, not much, but I mean this is a fun little thing. Anyway, is there like I don't
Oh,
Ripperonis? Well, Medoro, only about 11 of them speak English. There's like about, well, okay, no, 11 of them are part of the English branch. You know, I haven't commented on any of those images popping up.
Water in the fire?
Yes, Cornet yelling that. I think that was from playing a Super Mario game, one of the underwater stages with the fireball swinging through. And of course, there's Marin saying, "I'm horny," because that's kind of her shtick.
Sad.
Yeah, so there's actually quite a few of them that speak English and fluently, but it's mostly just the EN branch and the Indonesian girls. Some of the Indonesian girls also speak Japanese fluently. It's kind of scary to me when people can speak multiple languages. Sometimes I feel like I can barely speak English, and I'm pretty sure I speak a little better than most.
You can speak multiple languages though.
Not fluently! In the words of another friend of ours, I could speak just well enough to argue with my mom. But it's frustrating. Like, I mean, arguing with your parents is always frustrating, but arguing with them in a language you can barely speak is bad.
Just speak English.
You know, English is a bad language, though, in my opinion. Maybe it's just because it's the language I'm most fluent in, so I have a great understanding of it compared to other languages. But I look at it, I was like, why the flying flip do you do this? And the short answer is because this is 3 different languages melded together into one hot mess. Really, Midoro? What would you consider nice about Spanish? I feel like living where I do, it might have been a good idea to pick it up, but I never bothered. Oh, Reddit, that might be an apt comparison. Let me just read that out loud. English takes other languages into a dark alley and beats them and robs from them. And then puts on their clothes. That last one was my addition. Yeah, English is, it's a mess. Like, I was thinking about the contraction "it's" the other day. Because people keep using the wrong "it's," and it's no surprise.
It's pretty confusing.
Marcin has confirmed, English is hot dumpster fire. Yeah, so the "it's" thing is really annoying, because the possessive S, if you put it after a name, it's an apostrophe S, or if there's already an S there, then sometimes just an apostrophe by itself. Even in those cases, though, lots of people would put apostrophe S. Like, let's say Ross, for example. They'll put Ross apostrophe S, so Ross's. And there'll be like 3 S's there. But then it comes to "it's," and there's no apostrophe there. You put an apostrophe there, it becomes a contraction. It is. It's no longer possessive. For some reason, that one specifically, you remove the apostrophe. So yes, I get annoyed when people get it wrong, but the fact is English does not make it easy. It even gets worse because the pronouns, like your, his, her, like they don't use, well, okay, his uses the S, but then her and your use an R, and it's just like, why? Why do you do this? I've never quite figured out how to do this.
I don't remember how to do this. It's been a while.
Oh, you just jump as it goes up, I guess, and there's one less
Yeah.
challenge.
Oh,
And you know-
all those spike balls.
Yeah,
They wanted.
yeah. And one other annoying thing about the whole your, his, her is that her is both, like, when you talk about something belongs to her, but also this is her we're talking about. Meanwhile, the male one is, this is him we're talking about. But this is his BS. Wait, Midora, what do you mean this is the spike balls make this part of the game easier? They force you to just restart?
Yeah. So you don't accidentally fall off or something.
Oh, fall all the way down, but not actually land like in the abyss.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
How did you miss the bomb? That's something I would do.
I don't know. I wasn't really trying, but it feels bad. Spooky.
Oh, he uses it as a frame reference. Alright, are we calling quits then? Is there any stage you want to redo?
Not really. This
Oh.
game's too hard.
Oh, you didn't do the Ruche stage.
Oh. Oh no. The who? I don't even want to click that button.
It brings up an error message that says something like Paten error. I want to say like Kevin.exe has been
Yeah.
deleted or something,
Yeah, something like that.
which is the name of the dev. Because the joke is whenever you talk about how lacking in assets she is, there's this recurring joke where you get cut off mid-sentence because it's implied she did something. Oh god, now we're talking about the nightmare of English. Lots of stuff being said in chat there. I didn't know about the buffalo sentence there. Oh hey, we got the other version of the song.
Not anymore.
You know, there's a lot of words in English that I don't pronounce properly, but then I think I pronounce it, or no, I think I pronounce it properly enough, but if you actually read out the letters, it's wrong. And I don't mean like here where we have different ways of pronouncing words. I mean like I'm not pronouncing some of those letters. But it doesn't strike anyone as weird because it's close enough to how everyone pronounces it. Like I would drop a syllable, for example. Can't think of a specific example though. Anyway, I guess this is it for this episode, huh? Got an hour and a half footage of you playing this game.
In an hour and a half.
Yeah. Yes, it has. Alright, well, let's cut this episode here. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And thank you, Plaff, for actually showing up here and going through with this stupid idea I had. But yeah, hope you all had fun. And maybe I'll see you around sometime. Till then, stay safe. Goodbye. Man, that was a good finish.